No, man, I caught a lift before I came in because I skipped my lift this morning, dude. I felt like a bum. Yesterday, I'm like over here telling you about morning routines, and I went for a ride. It was slower than normal, but I got my miles in, and then I put off my lift. I just felt like crap, so I had a few moments, like for a late lunch. Went home, grabbed something to eat, worked out. Had to fall into the pool, so I got here like.
What, you fell into it or you jumped into it?
Oh, I jumped. It was needed. I went ham, dude.
You worked hard for the pool, man. You
Worked
deserve
hard
it.
for the pool. Yeah.
So last night I got probably 4 or 5 hours of sleep, and my body's not really used to that. I get at least 6 to 8. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I woke up this morning. My alarm went off at 7 because I was up till 3, and I was like, bro, fuck this shit. So I turned that shit off. I set it for 8. I get up at 8 and I go in the kitchen and I go to I put on my gym clothes this time. I'm like, all right, I'm about to go to the gym. And I'm sitting here. I feel like I'm fucking dead, dude. And I'm just so I'm like, you know what? Forget this shit. And then I just because I had a list of things I had to do today on the computer.
Yeah.
Didn't really go out much. So I just hopped on the computer, got most of my shit done. Then I'm tired right now, dude. That's why I have 2 of these. I was I came in, gave him one as well. So
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, man.
Got my favorite too.
Need to get sponsored by these fuckers.
Watermelon lemonade. Yeah, maybe Jake Paul can hook us up. Speaking of the Pauls, dude, which brother do you like better?
Jake.
Yeah, me too.
I can talk shit about one of them, but
yeah,
don't really care.
Yeah, I don't have anything against Logan. I just like Jake better.
I mean,
I'm always rooted for the underdog.
Their brothership doesn't make any fucking sense to me, bro.
So do you like the Tate brothership a little bit better?
They're together. They work together. Logan and Jake work apart. Logan's always he makes diss tracks to his brother, all this shit. He's always beefing with him, always talking shit about him on camera.
Right.
They don't work together.
You ever think it's just creating content, though? You ever think it's all just a ruse to create content? Because when you see them, together, it's always love, right?
Well, they're family.
Yeah.
You love your family really no matter what, unless they backstab you or some shit, which happens to some people. But
yeah, I'd say that
they came up
was
together.
Kind of backstabbing, you know.
But yeah, they came up together, and he brought his ex-girlfriend on the diss track, bro. That's crazy. To your fucking brother, you're gonna hang out with his ex-girlfriend.
Didn't he smash his ex too?
Probably, I think so. He talked about it in this track.
Dude, could you imagine Jake making that phone call? It's like, yo, Logan, what's up, dude? How's my dick taste, bro?
Imagine do that to your fucking brother though. That's why I don't understand about their brothership. I don't know if it was set up or anything. I don't know facts, but it just doesn't make sense to me.
I can't say anything, dude. I have several brothers and sisters, and I don't really speak to any of them, man. And it's not, to me, it's not bad. It's not I don't have anything against them. It's just different strokes for different folks, man. We don't vibe. You know, I'll call them, hey, love you. They're my brother, no matter what. But they have different choices. You know, I respect my brother so much, but he's battled with alcoholism and plays the victim role sometimes. I have my little brother used to be my ride or die, and follow every footstep that I took, and he was just a cool dude. And we got into it one time over a female. Not that I was chasing a female, but I was just trying to let him know that there was a female that wanted to get with him, and he was trying to rekindle a relationship with his ex. And then he was like, oh, just because I didn't know that. I didn't know he's trying to rekindle. So then he tries to tear my relationship apart. So me and my brothers don't get along. I have a younger brother too that, I haven't seen in 16, 17 years just because my family's torn apart. But my family being torn apart has made me, I don't want to say cold, but it's made me cutthroat. When somebody, fucks me over, it's quick to just reset. If I got my own mom and dad and brothers and sisters that I don't talk to, if you do me wrong, dude, imagine how quick I'll cut you out of my life. That doesn't mean that I wish bad on you, because I hope my brother gets better. I hope my sisters do better. I hope my mom recovers from whatever she's going through. I hope that my dad, gets better. You know, I hope that their life ends up being like mine or better. I want everybody to succeed, but I'm not going to let you drag me down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I can't tell you how many times, you know, growing up, my stepdad, he's cool dude, super good dude, was in the best shape ever. And like he would always tell me that he'd sit back, he'd roll a joint, you know, called them left-hand cigarettes. He'd sit back, roll a joint, and he'd be like, hey, man, out of all of my kids, I'm going to tell you, you're going to be somebody. And boy, was he right. Yeah, he was spot on. You're going to be somebody. And I remember that, dude. That shit pushed me. It made me want to be successful because I knew that I had this stepdad who cared. Became somebody. And like once I became somebody, then I'm too good for him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we haven't chatted in, 10, 15 years. You know, I've tried to reach out. Really don't get anything from him or anything like that. But it's okay. I wake up every single morning and I go back to work and I pay my bills. I create more success for me. And, my parents taught me, they didn't teach me how to be parents, but they taught me what not to do. And
sometimes that's all you need to learn to know.
Yeah. And then I teach I have 4 boys. I teach my kids the struggles of not having your brothers around you forever. So I make sure they're close and they're tight knit. They fight each other all the time. But walk in my house and mess with one of them boys, I bet the other 3 are gonna dog you.
That's good. That's brothership right there, man.
Yeah.
That's like you want to work together with your family and stuff. So I heard this one, I think it was a podcast Tate was doing or something like that. So he mentioned some story about like 12 brothers who lived together.
Mm-hmm.
They all worked regular jobs, making like $50 to $100,000, $150,000 a year, right?
Bought a Ferrari.
But they pool their income together, and they all live in one house. And if you add all that money up, that's over $1 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
So they're able to afford that one gigantic house, and then they could buy like 1 or 2 supercars and like a bunch of regular other cars.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just share it all. Like if one of them has a spouse or something, he said they just move into the house. And that's why you should work together with your brotherhood, like with your brothership, with everyone that you want to build that type of relationship with. Y'all should work together and stick together, because most of the time what keeps people weak is splitting up.
Yeah.
Because like they'll go and get married, they'll have their own house, their own kids, their regular ass job, but they'll have like 4 other brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll just be regular. And then imagine if you took all your brothers, you combined them together, and you all pooled your income, you all worked together on a business or your job or whatnot. You could be so much bigger, dude.
Even if you didn't want to live in the same house, that compound lifestyle that's going on right now, it's like flooding the world. I mean, you're in real estate, you see it. Mm-hmm. These families are buying land, especially in Bunnell. There's a compound in Bunnell. It's like, I think it's like 60 acres. It's got 10 homes on it. They're all in one big circle, and the homes are like small. They're like 1,200 square foot homes.
Yeah, like you don't have to live in the same houses.
3 bedroom, 2 bathroom. Together. But then they have this one massive building like in the center. Like all the backyards just meet together in the circle, and there's this one massive building, right? And that's where they do like movie nights. They have like ping pong. They have garages. They have all kinds of stuff in that one massive building.
That's cool.
And it's just like a really big pole barn. But then they got like 10 houses surrounding it. Like, dude, I think that would be dope. Maybe not with my brothers and sisters, but I would even do that with like those 5 people that you're supposed to surround yourself with. Those 5 people that you want to be like or be better than, or not be better than, but be as good as, I think compound living is cool. My wife's not down for it, but
yeah, no, I think it is a big thing with like, because girls, they really want like just like their family. They want their husband. They want their single family home. Like they don't think of everything that men think of. You know what I mean? And we're built like that. Like we're supposed to be separated in that sort of way. But however, when you do that, things just switch. Like things become so much different. They become so much more powerful in a way. Like if you work together with 3 different men that pool their income, that all have the same mindset, it's fucking insane, bro. It's like the almighty powerful, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
could you imagine that? Like, hey man, you want to borrow my boat? Yeah, sure. Hey, you want to borrow my RV? Sure. Right. And then everybody's like income is compiled to one.
Yeah, and then everything, if you split everything like 3 ways or something like that, it only costs you 33% of it before. So you only have to work like a certain amount to get to that. Like you only have to work a certain amount to get that fucking car or house or boat or whatever the fuck.
Like, we'd have to get a yellowfin, dude.
Really, a yellowfin? I was thinking like an HCV, bro. Fucking, what was it, like 6 450s or 500s on that bitch? That shit's dope. I saw one at, what's it called? St. Augustine Marina. Conch House. Dude, that thing's fucking sick. I saw it offshore, too. I was going offshore one day, and I see that fucking boat. I'm like, that's dope as fuck.
I seen that off, like, you know the restaurant down by Ponce, Off the Hook?
I think I know.
I seen their boat just getting it, dude. You know, I thought we were flying. You know, we had 3 350s on the back. We were zooming. And then all of a sudden, you see that Off the Hook boat just vroom, vroom. He's got 4 450s on the back, just hauling, dude. Just hauling.
I want to go fishing on a fucking sport fisher, bro.
Me too. Me too, man.
Imagine that experience. Oh, it's fucking hot out.
We got to get a sports fisherman to come on the podcast and tell us about, like, what'd you do to be able to afford that 50-foot, you know, yellowfin?
There was one guy, we were offshore a couple of weeks ago, and we saw this sport fisher, you know, just like a nice one, like new one. And the guy I was with actually, he didn't know the guy, but he knew who he was. Mm-hmm. And apparently he was the owner of some construction vehicle company or some shit like that, like CAT or something. Yeah. So, and then he's like, yeah, I pay that guy X amount of dollars a month to own my equipment. I'm like, oh, that's crazy. Like, Florida's full of just fucking random ass people, bro.
Yeah.
Random people.
I've seen some weird incomes, man. Being in mortgages, I've done mortgages for teachers, doctors, OnlyFans models, YouTubers, bro, you name it. Walmart employees. I've done mortgages for a lot of different people, and tattoo artists. There's some people making incomes in weird ways out here, man. There's entrepreneurs where you're like, okay, he's got a cleaning company, makes like $30K doing cleaning every year, but then he has a detailing company, and then he's got a haircutting place. Like, there's this one cat locally, man, that he owns like 10 businesses, doesn't work at all. I'm like, dude, how did you do that? What did you do to get there?
Fucking worked.
No, this guy had a dad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he's growing it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care about nepotism, dude. I'm doing the same thing for my kids. Mm-hmm. You know, like the other day, somebody was like, "Oh, LeBron James getting Bronny to come to the Lakers, that's nepotism." Who cares? Who gives a shit? You're not gonna do that for your son? Look at the Jerry Jones organization. The entire Cowboys are ran by somebody with the last name of Jones. Who gives a shit? You're gonna take care of yours.
I feel like that's the end goal of building something big like a business. It should be passed down. You know what I mean? It should stay in the family, especially if it's like some gigantic fucking shit. Like that should stay in the family, and that should be what the family's known for.
There's too many haters in the world, dude, that don't want other people to be successful. And when you change your mindset and you're like, hey, dude, I want you to be successful too. Like, think of your worst enemy. Who is somebody, you can bleep out their name. Tell me somebody you can't stand.
I don't have anybody like that.
Perfect.
I don't have any hate for anybody. Like, I don't hate
you don't
literally
hate
anybody. I don't have any worst enemies. If like I have people that I can say that I personally dislike, but there's nobody that I'm like, fuck that guy, never want to see him again. I hope he fucking dies tomorrow. Like, there's nobody like that.
Nobody. Name somebody you dislike. Bleep it out.
I really can't even think of that, dude. Like, I can't even say anybody from like high school either. Like, I really can't.
That's an amazing mindset to have. And for you to be 18 and be able to say that, I mean, you just went through high school, one of the most drama-ridden parts of your entire life.
I wasn't really even in high school for that long, dude. I was in high school for 2.5 years. One of those years I spent with like 3 people.
Yeah.
Another one, maybe spent with like one more person or like the same 3 people, dude. Like I wasn't really super social. I wasn't like the popular kid in school. Like I didn't give a fuck about that. And then I went online, and then now I'm out of school. So all I did was focus on my business and just being busy with that. So that's I didn't really spend too much time in high school.
The reason I asked you though to name somebody, and it's good that you don't have anybody, but if you did, like I have ex business and like partners, I have ex bosses and stuff that, you know, we didn't agree on things. I still want them to be successful. I still want them to do good. Fuck it, I'll publicly say it, right? I left Flow Mortgage, right? I want Rob to be super successful, and I want him to do millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of loans, right? I want his business. I want Flow Mortgage to flourish. I want him to win. But that's also part of the reason why I'm over at Win Mortgage, because I want to see everybody win. I don't want negativity. I don't want hate. I don't care if people dislike me. If somebody tells you something bad about me, don't bring it to me. I don't give a shit. I don't care. Opinions ain't paying bills, right? Mm-hmm. It's the whole opinion of sheep doesn't matter to a lion. I don't care. I'm a silverback gorilla, dude. What do you want? You want me to just beat my chest and get upset because somebody doesn't like me?
That's what slows a lot of people down too. They're too worried about like someone who hates them or some shit.
Yeah. So like I wish this dude many successes. I mean, and we're still cool. Just to be clear, that's why I name dropped him on the podcast. We're still cool. I love that dude. We call each other. We talk about personal stuff. We don't talk about business no more. And it's not because there's any hate. Obviously, we're competitors. So we're not going to share information. But that dude is a good dude. He did a lot for me. I did a lot for him in his business. I helped Flow Mortgage grow. There's no hate between that. But I'm a direct competitor of that dude. I want that dude to win. I think Rick is an awesome dude. Right?
I haven't met the guy yet.
Yeah. So, Rick's the man, dude. But he's competition too. Every loan that he gets, I don't get. Right? So I still want him to be successful though. That's my mindset, my mentality. And that's what I want to help every single person in the world have the same mindset as me. I don't want you to be me. Like you said yesterday or last time we did a podcast, hey man, we're all going to be different.
Every single person is unique in their own ways, good or bad.
Yeah. We're going to have some disagreements, and that's okay. That's what kills me about politics, man. Like now you can't have a political conversation without somebody pulling their eyes out or just screaming at the top of their lungs. So fucking like we should be able to have those conversations. You should be able to have an intelligent conversation and talk about your disagreements. Like why watermelon lemonade is better than blueberry fizz.
That's new. I tried it one time before and I actually liked it.
Yeah, it's good, but it's not watermelon good.
This is better than that. Have you tried this?
Yeah.
You have?
Still like it.
I don't think I got I think I got a different one than that. I don't really, like, I forget the fucking flavors, dude. Yeah. Like, I just grab one. I'm like, oh, I remember this. I think this one's good. I grab it. I don't really care too much, so.
I like, I'm weird, man. I like the flavors nobody likes. I like grape.
I like grape, too.
I was that kid that, like, grew up, like,
I was the grape kid, too.
Grape, like, eating the grape popsicles that tasted like Diamond Tap. That was me.
You talking about, like, the fucking long ones like that?
Yeah.
I like that shit, too. I like the blue one. The blue one, actually, no, the blue ones are not that good. The pineapple ones are fucking fire, though.
And now you can't even eat those, dude. Like, they're so full of, like, the colors and...
Oh, my God. I ate 3 the other day, and I fucking felt so bad. I was like, damn it, what did I just do, bro?
It's so weird because, like, you know, you got two different people when it comes to, like, health and those colors, right? You got the people that are just like, fuck it. And then you got the people that, like, over-exaggerate it. Then you got, like, then there's the person in the middle that's like me. Like, I get it. The colors are bad. They're not good for you, right? There's science behind it. And then, but sometimes you're like, it's just a little bit. It's the last ingredient. That doesn't fucking matter when it's in every fucking thing that you eat now.
That's like everybody's shit with justifying fucking excuses. Just like that video you showed me before we started the podcast. Like, people like to justify why they can't do something.
Yeah.
They'll do that in their head to make them feel better. But at the end of the day, one person is always watching, and that's God, dude. Like, he sees that. He's the one who's going to ultimately reward you with what you deserve. You know what I mean?
That's a good video. You want to roll that clip so they can see it?
What clip? Oh, that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that.
You know what I noticed not too long ago? Me and Sequoia go to the same gym. Me and Sequoia lift the same weights, different sizes. Me and Sequoia listen to the same music over the speakers at the gym. How come me and Sequoia don't look the same? How come we look different? It's the gym's fault. It's the weight's fault. No, listen, watch this. When he leaves the gym, he takes the gym with him. When he leaves the gym, he goes, I went to the gym, so I can't eat that. I went to the gym, so I can't do that. When I leave the gym, I want the gym to justify the rest of my week. Well, I went to the gym, so I can't eat that. I went to the gym, so I can't do that. You ever been to the same church, had different faith? I read the same Bible. How come you have faith for miracles and I don't? How come you've got faith and I don't? It's not God's fault. It's not the church's fault. It's not the book's fault. It's not the Bible's fault. The worship song is not. He lets the gym change his life. I use the gym to justify my life. How many times have you said on Friday?
Cool. I think that's so spot on. It explains that two people are going to walk in the same room, right? I think Drake said it, dude. We're in the same building, but we got different views. Like, we're on the same walk, wearing different shoes. Like, it's so true. I mean, here he is beefing with Kendrick, though. But,
that shit's funny as hell, bro. Oh, my gosh. All right, so.
Mortgages, ministry, military, motivation. Right? Yeah. Let's talk some motivation.
We talk a lot of motivation. What keeps you motivated?
My family, wife and kids. Like, without a doubt, my wife and kids. Right? So, God first. Mm-hmm. Others second. Yourself last.
Well, I always put it in this order. I say God, family, health, and wealth. That's the way I put it. Because at the end of the day, if you're healthy, or if you're not healthy, but you have all the money in the fucking world, you could literally die tomorrow, so that money is not useful at all.
Right.
If you have all the money in the world, no family, then you're not going to be happy. If you have no one that loves you or that you love back, you're gonna spend your money. Oh yeah, cars, fucking boats, random fucking chicks. It gets old after a while, dude.
Since we're speaking on this, you just hit a topic that I wanna touch on. You and I have talked about God countless times. Obviously, you're a believer. I'm a believer, and I think it's well known. But we curse a lot. Does that make you a bad Christian?
I don't particularly think so.
Particularly? I
wouldn't say a bad Christian. I feel like a bad Christian would be somebody that does people wrong. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, I say things that I shouldn't sometimes, but everyone has mistakes at the end of the day. But yeah, I cuss. Yeah, I do things that you can call a sin, but everyone sins every day. You know what I mean?
All right, so you heard that phone call I had with the underwriter just a minute ago, right? Mm-hmm. What did I say in there?
What did you say in there?
What did I tell
you told her to show you proof of something.
Show me proof. She can't do it, right?
Yeah.
So who's winning that argument between the underwriter and me?
Well, it's you.
Right. Okay. Show me proof. Show me where it's a sin to cuss. I read that book, boy, front and back. Show me proof. Now, you could interpret some things in there.
I thought there was a verse or something.
There's no verse.
There's no verse.
Yeah. Don't use God's name in vain. Bro, GD, all that stuff. None of that stuff. First of all, I don't say that just because I don't like it. But
yeah, me neither.
But
I know people that do it.
That stuff wasn't being said before, like when Moses was out here, dude. Like that wasn't a commandment. Don't say GD. don't use God's name in vain is like, don't use God's name in a negative manner, or don't use God's name to like for vanity. Don't use God's name don't tear apart God by saying like negative things that would make him look bad. That's not use God's name in vain. Obviously that's my interpretation of it, but I think it's right. So there's nowhere in there that says don't cuss. Your boy's been to over 30 countries, and I will tell you, I'll go to all these countries, kids cuss, 5-year-olds cuss, everywhere. They say words like, right? They say that stuff everywhere.
Beep, beep, beep.
Beep, 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 beep. But I will tell you that here in the U.S., because of our culture, things are different. Our culture is different from the rest of the world. It's like crazy different. Our standards are set high. You know, there's like
what culture are we talking about?
All of it.
All of it.
Like I'll tell you, like,
yes.
I don't even want to touch on like the legal age thing for women, because I believe that our culture is right. Let it be a woman first. But there's some countries that like a 13-year-old woman, 15-year-old woman.
Oh, for the age of consent?
Yeah, for age and consent. I think that's, again, my culture, what I'm raised around, it's right to do things a certain way. Their culture is different, but who am I to judge a whole nother, country? Who I'm one person, right? You go back in the Bible, you start reading that, and some of those ages are crazy different. Am I against pedophiles, dude? Absolutely. I'll slap the shit out of a pedophile. No matter what, hands down.
Dude, there's some disgusting shit.
There's some disgusting.
I don't know
people.
if you ever watched.
So don't hear what I'm not saying. I think pedophiles are disgusting. I'll slap the life off of you. I will slap.
Have you ever seen the videos of them like going into fucking Walmart to meet them up?
Oh yeah, and like
hilarious.
Vitali and stuff doing that.
Yeah, dude. There's just one guy that does that shit for a living.
Yeah, it's Vitali. But here's
no. It's some other guy.
I know what you're talking about. He got a TV show on HGTV or something like that.
I don't know if he has a TV show. Oh, Skeet some shit.
Yeah, I hate that stuff. Don't go fishing for it. I mean, like when you're putting bait out, man, you're fishing for that, right?
Catch something.
You're gonna catch something, dude. Like if you're, I don't know.
I find it to be comedy, bro. Like when these guys are in Walmart and they walk up to these fuckers with like 4 different cameramen, they're like, "This guy's here to meet a 13-year-old girl."
Dude,
that shit's hilarious, bro.
It is, but it isn't, dude.
It's sick. Sad on their parts. It's sick on their parts. But to see their face and then to see them get put in handcuffs at the end of the video is what makes it like almost, I guess you could say, fulfilling, right? Yeah. To see them serve a punishment for doing something wrong is what they should deserve. But
I have all sons. Thank goodness.
Yeah, I was gonna say, thank God you have all this shit.
But I have some beautiful nieces, dude. Let somebody touch my niece, bro. Yeah. Over. I'm, like I said earlier, I'm a silverback gorilla, dude. I will lose my mind. My brother Eric is an awesome dude, man, and he adopted. He's not my real brother. That's the guy we were talking about. You said I met him before. He's a good dude, great dude. Probably, if you're gonna model yourself after a human outside of Jesus, he's the closest dude. That I could say that I would want to be like. Well, Tim Tebow, then my brother Eric, and then me. But I love Eric. His daughters are like my daughters. They're my nieces. I mean, she texted me yesterday, "Hey, can't wait to see you this weekend." I was like, "Miss your face." Send me a picture of her face. I've shot her a picture of my face. Like, we're silly together. I treat her just like my daughter. I love her. Touch her, you're dead. End of story. No threats, none of that. Like, I can't stand people taking advantage of people. And that's what sickens me about the whole pedophilia thing. But also, you're taking advantage of people when you go out and bait the stuff too. So, I mean, you could argue both sides. It's gross either way. For you, it's comedic relief.
It's fucking hilarious.
For me, it's gross. Like,
it is gross, but it's like funny to see them get caught in the act.
Yeah.
And then see them serve a punishment.
No, I think it's funny how they deliver the act. Like in the middle of Walmart, "Hey, this dude came here to meet a 13-year-old." Like then it's different. I don't know. I would just rather it never be on my feed because then I don't want to think about it.
Well, our phones are listening to us now, so whenever we go home and get on fucking Facebook, it's the first thing that's gonna pop up.
Good thing I don't scroll.
It doesn't matter if you scroll; it's gonna be the first thing when you open your fucking phone.
It'll be Vitali. It's cool. I do watch the Vitali one, so maybe we can get Vitali on here. Yeah, that'd be cool.
I remember when that guy first started. I remember watching all these fuckers when like they first were like small as shit.
That dude's just kind of
Do you
jacked.
remember that one guy who had that like Smile More brand? Roman Atwood.
Mm-mm.
Oh, dude, I remember.
I didn't watch a lot of the.
He low key he fell off a little bit, but I still see him like iffy here and there on like podcasts and stuff like that.
If I watch
his stuff
podcasts,
used to be big.
It's typically like a Christian podcast or a Joe Rogan podcast. Like I don't care who you are, dude. Joe Rogan is the man. That dude's hilarious. I would love to get on Joe Rogan's podcast and just bullshit with him for 3 hours and do it like that man talks. It's crazy. He's so professional on UFC, and it's just crazy unprofessional on his podcast. It's great, and I think that you should be able to separate yourself. And when you're doing certain things, like you should put yourself in a position to do that thing, right? So like when he's doing UFC, he's calling the fights. He's professional. He's really good at it, right? When he was doing Fear Factor, he was very professional. I think he has slapped some dude up because he hit his wife or something like that. But, you know, he stays professional, right? And then you get on Joe Rogan podcast and he's just wild. Or he does his stand-up and he's wild. Like, I think it's okay to be like that. You know, like people sometimes will be like, oh, Steven's a bad Christian because he cusses. I don't think so.
Not true. I don't think that's true at all. I think making you a bad Christian is someone who doesn't really follow in faith and maybe like fakes it in a way because that happens. I mean, you're either a Christian or you're not.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a bad Christian, I feel like you're someone who backstabs people, does people wrong, just continuously does things that they shouldn't. Like if you're going to pray to God and say, forgive me for this act, but then commit the act the next day.
Yep.
Then how do you expect forgiveness in a way? You know what I mean? Like he'll forgive you, but if you continuously do that, you can't forget that God's always freaking watching, dude.
Yeah. I think the one thing I want people to understand is like when you sin, it's all a sin, right? So like homosexuality and watching porn to God is a sin. He doesn't care. He
sees that.
Yeah, he doesn't list it like, oh, you're watching porn, he's doing homosexuality. All he's thinking is sin.
It's all sins are equal.
Yeah, he's not going to judge the gay guy for worse than he's going to judge the straight guy that's over here, you know, jacking off. Like he's a sin's a sin, dude.
Mm-hmm.
In his eyes, you know, we as humans create crime and we go, oh, this is worse than that. This is worse than that. You know, like if I was to lust, I mean, look, dude, we're right here on the beach. If girls walk by in their bikinis all day, and if I'm sitting there lusting after those girls all day, when I have my beautiful wife, who's very good looking and attractive as well, if she's at home, right, and I'm sitting here just lusting after those women, boom, sin.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same as this guy being gay. It's the same as that dude masturbating. It's the same as some dude killing somebody in God's eyes. So,
when did you discover your faith?
Man, so when I was young, I went to church once or twice. I didn't go to church. I went to a vacation Bible school. And can't believe you're asking me this. I went to a vacation Bible school, and I just went because it was fun. It was like camp, right?
I've been to a camp like that before, like a Christian camp.
And it was cool because it was like camp. You know, they had the blob. You know, you could jump on it, and it shoot people up in the air.
That is the same shit.
I didn't care about God at that time though. Like I grew up, I go to high school, I'm like going to parties, I'm getting in trouble, fighting, like just messing around, doing horrible stuff. My wife would probably be more honest than I am about what I did in high school.
Get her on the podcast.
No. But I was kind of a horrible person, and I resented God. I still believe him, but like I wasn't a Christian, dude. I just believed there was a higher power. I go to the military. You know, I start battling a lot of stuff. And right around 2011, my wife was pregnant. I was going through a lot of stuff mentally, still in the military. And I tried to kill myself. Right? Get kicked out of the Navy. Right? At that time, there was really like not a big... And when I say kicked out, let me say this. It was a medical discharge, honorable, you know, and I look back and then like, I'm like, man, what a shitty way to get out, you know? But then now that I'm positive, motivation changes, I'm like, you know what, dude, everything happens for a reason. But I stuck a gun in my mouth. I pulled the trigger, light primer strike, dud, never went off. Still keep that bullet today. Everyone's like, man, why do you keep that so negative? No, to me, it's a fucking reminder of not only not taking my life, but allowing 4 more lives to come, because I have 4 boys now, 4 handsome boys. And not only do I like try and live my life, but I have Operation 22 because of this part of my life. And I had this awesome girl. Her name is Jessica Monsenbraten. She's awesome. She's an amazing friend. She was like my sister. We told everybody we were brother and sister when we were in the Navy. And she was there for that. You know, imagine your best friend or, you know, somebody you would call your sister. She walks in the room and you have a gun in your mouth. You pull the trigger. Right? She slaps the shit out of me, takes the gun, snitches on me. And I was so mad for so long. For so long, I was like, this bitch ruined my career. She ruined my Navy career. But I get out. I got so much hate in my heart. So much hate. I go down to Naples, become a real estate agent, get on at the fire department. And now I have this fuck God personality. Can't stand the dude. Brittany's like, hey, you know, I'm pregnant. You know, we need to be in Tennessee. We need to be around my family. So we go to Tennessee. And I try it again. Try to take my own life again. This time I don't pull the trigger. I'm just like sitting out in the truck, just battling some demons, playing the victim, just being weak. I don't have my head in the right spot. And I tell Brittany about it, and she's like I was this last time I put the gun in my mouth, and I'm like, and I pull it out. I just start screaming, God, if you're real, take me out of this world. I wasn't asking him to like take me out of the life I was living. I was asking him to let me die. I just wanted to die. I didn't want to be alive anymore. So I go talk to Brittany about like what I'm battling. She makes me go to anger management. She makes me go to a couple courses. We separate for a little bit. We're still together, but we like spend some time apart. She moves out, moves in with her family. You know, we're still mom and dad. You know, we're still husband and wife. But she goes, hey, I think that you need to go get some help. So I go get some help. I go to this thing called Celebrate Recovery. And it's like a Christian, like AA, NA, GA, AA, like anger management, Narcotics Anonymous. Everybody's got a problem, right? And I go in there and everybody's like telling their story. And I'm like, wow, these people are fucked up. And I'm just like I'm normal, just over here trying to kill myself. Like, I don't know what's bothering me. And so I finished the course, and you know, I have a mental breakdown moment, and then I'm still battling this I hate God thing. I know he's real, but I hate him. I can't stand him. And then Brittany comes to me, and we're struggling, dude. She's working at Buffalo Wild Wings as like a wing trainer. She's like training all the people that come in, and she's going to school, going to college, raising a kid. I'm working at Red Bull, and I bought a bread route. I'm going to school. I'm also delivering pizzas. Like I'm just trying to do whatever I can to like fill my time up. I'm not sleeping, living on not Celsius at the time. It was probably Monsters or something, but just pounding caffeine every day. And Brittany goes, hey, you know, we've been working for a long time. Let's try and get a mortgage. Let's go buy a house. I was renting an apartment. She was living with her mom. She was like, let's buy a house. You've been doing good with your anger management. You're doing better in life. You're filling your schedule up. Let's go buy a house. So we moved to Gallatin, Tennessee, in a cul-de-sac. In this cul-de-sac, I pull in, and this guy comes out, and he's like, hey, man, can I help you unload your truck? Dude, I'm from Florida, bro. South Florida. I'm not used to people being nice. I'm like, dude, what are you? No, get out of here, dude. You're just trying to see what I got? What's wrong with you? He's like, no, man. He's like, I tell you what, dude. I ordered you some pizza for you and your family, so y'all don't have to worry about dinner. Eric across the street said he's going to get you some dinner the next night. Don't worry about dinner. Just make sure you get your stuff unpacked. Make yourself at home. If you ever smell the barbecue going, come on over. Just want to introduce myself. My name's John Micah. I'm the pastor over at Hendersonville Church of Christ. We'd love to meet you. And I'm like, what a weirdo. Next guy comes out. He goes, hey, man, my name's Ed. He goes, I go to church at Freedom Church. I'd love for you to come by, check out our church. I'm like, all right. Thanks. I'm going to unload my truck now. Next guy comes out. He goes, hey, man, how you doing? My name's Mr. Pepper, Army veteran, Christian, go to church right around the corner. Love to see you there on Sunday. And I'm like, ugh. And I'm trying my best to like not lose my shit. I just got out of anger management, right? So I'm trying to like be a good dude. And at this time of my life, you heard all those jobs I was doing, right? Mm-hmm. Guess what else I'm doing? Selling weed. Right? So
dope dealer.
So then the next guy comes over, Eric Agnos. Eric Agnos is my brother. We put our last names together now. Swagnos family. Swarner and Agnos. We're so close. His daughters are the ones that I have adopted as my goddaughters. He adopted my sons. We have life insurance on each other's kids. We love each other. We're close brothers. We are Andrew and Tristan Tate.
That's awesome.
That's just who we are. So he goes, hey man, I got a Bible study on Wednesday. We provide food. Just bring your appetite. And I'm like, nah, man, I'm good on that. I'm good. And then I'm smoking a joint. And then the next neighbor comes over and she goes, hey, my name's Heather. I'm head of the DEA. I'm like, oh, shit. Start going inside. And I'm like, Brittany, what did you do? You picked this? Like, I let her pick the house. I'm like, you picked the house. We got all these Bible-thumping idiots living around us. And then, I can't sell weed. Our fucking neighbor, Heather, she works for the DEA. And Brittany's like, you're selling weed? I'm like, yeah, how do you think I got the down payment for this house? I hope there's a statute of limitations on this. This was a long time ago. I ain't going to say the date. But I was just going through so much. And then I'm sitting on my porch. We got everything unloaded. And I'm just like battling myself, man. I don't want to live again. I don't know what's going through me. I don't want to live again. Eric comes over, man. I'm sitting on my front porch, and he can tell that I'm just like not having a good time. And I see him coming over. He's walking across the cul-de-sac because he lived right across the cul-de-sac. And I flicked the joint out. And I'm like, oh, God, I got to throw that joint away. He's like, hey, bro, you don't have to change for me, man. You don't got to throw that out. He's like, I just want to come over and check on you, make sure everything's okay. He's like, I just want to come make sure you knew who I was. And I was like, what is going on? And I had that thought coming over. I was kind of rude to him. And I just had this thought just hit me. Like, oh my gosh, dude, I got to do something different in my life. I was like, I love my life. I'm scared. Suddenly I felt scared to die. I don't want to die anymore. It was weird. It just hit me. I don't want to die anymore. I ran over. It's 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, boom, boom, boom. Eric. He's like, man, it's 10 o'clock. What's up? I was like, dude, I want to be at your Bible study on Wednesday. He's like, all right, man, bring your appetite, dude. I'm like, seriously, I want to change my life. He's like, all right, dude. See you Wednesday. It's 10 o'clock at night. Suddenly, those people in Tennessee weren't as nice, you know? And then I went to the Bible study. I met, you know, some of the closest people in my life. We have this group that's been going for, I don't know, probably 12, 15 years, something like that. Eric, John, Derek, myself. We had a couple other people come and go. But we built this camaraderie that I can't explain. Eric baptized me in the dirty, dirty pond in Gallatin, Tennessee at the Bagsby Ranch. And Brittany really wasn't a believer either, right? And I told her that I was going to start going to church. So for a whole year, she just sat back and watched. And I was like, I'm going to show her I changed. Nobody else seen it. My family didn't see it. They're like, oh, same old Stephen. I was trying to be like Jesus when he went back to Nazarene, dude. They were like, oh, yeah, that's Joseph. That's the carpenter's son. Oh, yeah, that's the Stephen. That's the lion stealing, drug addict, punk, gangbanger dude that cheats on his wife. Like that. Like everybody just had this like mentality of me. When I accepted God, it didn't matter anymore. I didn't care about what they thought. And I think that's one of the things that like helped me get successful. So like when you hear me curse about other people's opinion and say, I don't give a shit what they think. I don't. I care about what one dude thinks. Shout out to the top G, the real one.
The one who sees all.
The one who sees all. So that's my story, man. You know, and from that moment, a year later, almost to the day, I got baptized on August 22nd. Brittany got baptized the next year on August 3rd. And from that moment, I have led my family on a Christ-driven path. I have messed up. I have sinned. And I'm going to keep messing up. But the difference between me and other people is I don't mess up and then continue to mess up. I mess up and then I learn from the mistakes, dude. And I get better. And then I teach my kids, don't make those mistakes. Daddy already made them for you. Don't do it again. And if my kids messed up, do you think I beat their ass? No, they do push-ups and hit the punching bag. But no, I teach my kids to do the right thing. I let them mess up. I want you to mess up.
Mm-hmm. That's how you learn.
But I'm going to teach them like, hey, you messed up? Cool. Don't make mistakes. I will tell you right now, though, my kids don't lie to me.
That's good.
I don't know if they lie to other people, but they don't lie to me. You know, if my son, if he walks in and he hit one of his brothers, I'll be like, Alec, did you hit him? Yeah.
You raised him right.
So far. Brittany does more raising than me, so shout out to Brittany.
Most of the times, kids tend to spend more time around the mom.
Yeah.
When they're both in their lives.
Especially boys. I mean, Michaela and Mackenzie, my nieces, dude, they are all about Eric. But my boys are all about their mom. Except for Crew. Crew definitely like wants to kick it with me all the time. And now Sailor's getting to that stage. Like once they get past a certain spot, all they want.
How old are your kids?
13, 6, 4, and 2, but 3 of them have a birthday in like August and the end of July, so it's going to be 13, 7, 5, 3.
You have 4 kids?
I've said that 9 times on our podcast.
I think you said 3.
No, dude. No, I have an older kid who is probably more adult than both of us. And then I have 3 younger kids.
Nice.
So I probably took up most of our time. Tell me about how did you become a Christian?
So my story is not nearly as long as yours. But
sorry, dude. My bad.
I just got the whole life story, dude.
Yep.
That was awesome though. I like to hear that. But anyways, so I was like 16 years old. I mean, I told you about this. I was doing teenager shit, you know, smoking weed, hanging out with friends, you know, drinking, this, that. And then something happened where I was like, oh, yeah, I need a month off of this shit. Like, weed was making me feel like nothing was real. It was fucking up my mind. I wasn't doing anything. I was being lazy, slipping into like fucking 12, 1, 2, 3, fucking that time. And something just said, okay, well, let me take a month off of this shit, right? That was prior to that, I started making a little bit better friends. I had a guy who was really Christian. His name was Braden. Shout out to him because I met some pretty good people from him.
Not to interrupt you, but I love how you described him. I had a friend that was really Christian.
No, like he is. He's a really solid dude too. He's a good dude. But there was one time when he came over, and my really good friend now came over too, and we were just hanging out. You know, I was doing my teenager stuff. You know, we were drinking a little bit. He wasn't though, because he didn't do any of that. So anyways, he was like, yeah, man, I could stay the night as long as we go to church tomorrow at 7 a.m. And I was like, okay, whatever, you know.
That's different when you're in a beach town, dude.
Yeah. So I was never really a church person. I never really went because I was like 16 years old. I didn't really like I knew that God was real. I always believed.
Right.
However, I never fully accepted him, and I never really tried to impress him as much as I do now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyways, rolls around 7 o'clock, go to church, went through all that. I come home, and I kind of realized that I just need to quit for a little bit. I need to stop doing that stuff. And then I stopped for a month. You know, I told you that I made a bet with my buddy. I was like, oh yeah. He's like, give me $50 if you do that. And at the time, $50 was a lot of money for me. So I was just like, okay, yeah, whatever. Made the bet, stopped doing it for a month. And then, you know, that the first of the next month rolls around. And I'm like, you know what? Let's not do this. I feel good now. Like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Right.
And then I was about to turn 17 in November. So that rolls around. And then I made a sort of a bet for myself to kind of clear my mind and make me a little bit more healthier. So I made this thing called a discipline board.
Mm-hmm.
I had things that I would do daily on it, and I followed it for a good 2 months. Shockingly, it was a lot to do too. It was like 200 push-ups every day. It was meditate for fucking 10 minutes a day. I was on that morning routine shit because at the time I saw like that YouTuber shit doing all that. So it was like read for a certain amount of time and a couple other things. I have pictures of it. I could probably find it if I went really deep in my camera roll. But
when you find it, post it.
When I find it, post it. Okay, yeah, I will. But anyways, I was doing that for like 2 months. You know, New Year's rolls around, and that's when I started my first business with one of my really good friends that I met from Braden. You know,
right.
And thank God I did, because he's like a brother to me. Like literally, he's the brother that I never had.
Braden?
No, my buddy Sebastian.
Okay.
So Braden's the one who introduced me to Sebastian, and
that is Sebastian Christian?
Yeah, he's been for a little bit now, but well, a long time. His dad's like really into that stuff and literally knows like everything about the Bible. It's like really impressive actually. Like you talk to him about it, he's like, yeah, it gives me every little detail. It's like, wow, this guy knows a thing or two. But anyways, New Year's rolls around. You know, we started our own business, this, that, and I'm actually starting to go to church every Sunday now. Mm-hmm. And then that's around that time is when I was like, you know, like I'm gonna take this more seriously and like really accepted him into my life. And then I felt like things just started to change drastically. Like I felt like more fulfilled. I felt like I was doing better. I felt like everything was just coming together more. You know what I mean? Like as soon as I accepted him, everything just started getting better. I started seeing improvements. And, you know, I look into the past and you can kind of see how everything correlates and how everything happens for a reason. You know what I mean? Like I could see, okay, I met this guy made me meet these two people, and this guy is now a really good friend of mine. Like really, really close and stuff like that. Like there's so many scenarios that I can think of that I'm like, wow, this is like same reason how my mom was like, oh, come to this grand opening, and here we are now. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's what I'm saying. I feel like everything happens for a reason.
Drake also said that. God's plan.
It is God's plan. But the first step of really having a huge impact is accepting him.
I agree. And I'm glad you did it, man. I think it's.
Oh, me too.
I think it's great. And,
see, I wasn't really.
You did all that while still cursing.
Yeah, I did all that while still cursing. I was still cursing.
No, I think that you're like a wonderful example of what people should want to be like. I'm not saying you're perfect, because God knows you're not. You're not even close to perfect. But dude, you're so motivated, right? You know, we were supposed to be just talking about motivation in our 4 M's, and we jumped straight to ministry, right? But you're always motivated. And the fact that you make God a part of your motivation and a part of your ministry and a part of your mission to do better, your mindset, you know, everything that you do, I think that's awesome. You know, so I hope that you are helping Sebastian get better and helping Braden get better.
He's actually helped me get better. Sebastian's
you
taught
guys
me
can
a
help
lot,
each other.
and he's younger than me. He's not crazy younger than me, but he's like almost a year younger than me.
Let's get him on.
I will. I'll tell him about it, and he'll hop on it. But he'd be really interesting to talk to. He could talk to, but nah, dude, like he's helped me a lot too. Like he's showed me a lot of things. I mean, I've taught him as much as he's taught me as well, and helped him as much as he's helped me. But it's crazy, man, how things work. Like it really, really is.
Got a life story twice today. I mean, your life's a lot shorter because you're way younger.
Yeah. I don't have nearly as long as a fucking 20-year story, but it's fine.
You know what? Not my bad. I don't regret it. You know, and I'm glad. I think being vulnerable is like one of the things that helps everything. It helps your mindset. You know, it helps you be stronger. Being vulnerable and being able to talk about this stuff, like, you know, what helped you become a Christian? What'd you do to start getting successful in business? When you're able to break down, vulnerability is strength, dude. It's not a weakness because you talk about something. It's a strength because when you're able to talk about certain issues and certain things that are bothering you, and you're able to have that conversation with somebody, you find somebody that you trust, you could share those things and get it off your chest. You bottle that stuff out and you're gonna be like me in the Navy, wanting to blow your brains out. And then none of that stuff is cool. But I'm glad my life played out the way it did.
Sometimes you need that struggle.
Oh man, it's crazy, dude. Like if walls could talk, or if any of my friends would talk, I got the best friends. They would never say anything about my past, you know. But at the same time, they know. But I have so many friends. Like, I got this buddy Brandon. We call him Smoke. He's been telling me for years, dude, you need to get on a podcast. You need to do your own show. And he's gonna be so stoked when he sees this. Almost like I kind of want to FaceTime him right now and be like, Smoke, I'm live because of you. He encouraged me to be better. But this dude knows everything about my past. Rooted for me from day one. And dude's got faith, right? It might not be the same as mine, just like that clip that we were watching earlier. You know, like we go in some places, you know, we can go to the same church and have different faith. We go in the same gym, lift the same weight, but have different physiques. You know, but like, what is your happiness? What's your level of success? What are you going to do to make yourself better? Dude, if I wanted to be like you, I'd be miserable. Don't ever try and be like anybody else. Try and be a better version of yourself. Whether it's, you know, inviting Jesus to be a part of everything that you do. Whether it's just waking up and trying to be a better person in general and living a more moral life, or, you know, finding the motivation to get up and lose weight or work out or get healthier or eat better. You know, The Rock the other day was on his Instagram. That dude said, there's a saying. They lift his eyebrow. One day or day one. Like,
I've seen comparisons of that on like shorts and stuff. It says on the top it's like day one, you know, something like super basic starting, and then on the bottom it's like the dream, like what they accomplished.
Yeah, and there's always got to be a day one. There's got to be a first step. When are you going to do it? When are you going to take the jump?
This is a pretty good day one.
I mean, we're on like day 3 now.
I know, but like, look, like,
yeah. I mean, we have a good day one. So I mean, just imagine what it would do. I mean, I have nothing but drive. You have nothing but drive. You know, we're both in a lot of different groups and cliques and business, you know, teams, and you know, we have a lot of stuff going on, and we still make the time to come in here and sit down and make these podcasts. And I'm making podcasts. I want you guys to know, I'm not making podcasts for me. I'm making podcasts for everyone else, because I want people to see that you could be the guy that had 10 brothers and sisters and live in a single wide trailer, and then grow up and be successful if you try.
I also feel the same way. I want people to see that if I can do it, so can they.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're so young, dude. You have a long way to go. By the time you're my age, dude, bro, remember me. Remember me.
It's fine. We'll be doing fucking podcasts together.
I'll be old though.
I know. I'll still have you on. I'll be like, get your old ass over here. I'm flying your old ass out somewhere. Come on, motherfucker.
Nah, I think we'll keep a lifelong friendship, man. 100%. And hopefully I can mentor you to do some better things in life. And I think one of the cool things though is like you're gonna get somewhere in life, and you're gonna need somebody from the younger generation to keep pushing you. Like my workout buddy, he's 25, D1 athlete, stud muffin, like super pumped. Every time I get on the bike, I get clowned. The guy just like runs me into the ground. Right? That's his thing. Dude is like a freak of nature athlete. We get in the gym, I run him into the ground. When it comes to lifting, picking stuff up and putting it down, I'm your guy. When it comes
You're a big dude. I know you. What do you fucking deadlift like 800?
Nah, not 800. I 6 easy though for sure. I mean, and a lot of people are like, oh, it's not that much. Let me see you do it.
Fucking weight, bro. 600 pounds.
But I honestly though, I'm at a point in my life where I'm not saying I don't want to be strong, so don't hear what I'm not saying, because there's a reason I still work out. I still want to be strong, but I'm trying to like cut some weight. I've had if you look at my life, when I was in the Navy, doing like during rescue school, like I had 6-pack, I was cut up, I was magazine material, like fitness model, right? Just banging body. And then I got out and I was like, man, I'm gonna start lifting. Well, then I got yoked and I got jacked, super low body fat. And I was like, yeah, I like this. I'm jacked, great physique. And then I was like, I want to be strong. Well, the stronger I got, the more fat I put on, the more I ate, I got huge. I had the like powerlifting body. And then I had that for so long, and now I'm trying to like lose that, Thank God the dad bod like came in. Everybody loved that for a minute. They were like, that dude's shoulders are jacked, his arms are jacked, his chest is jacked, his belly says I like beer and I eat steak. So, for a minute, that was the thing. And I was like, cool, I can take my shirt off and not feel bad about it, because not everybody has a 6-pack. And then I woke up and I was like, you know what, dude? I want to be better for myself. The 6-pack isn't, for me to be better. Yeah, I see that stuff online about that one sales trainer that says, take your shirt off. Oh, if you don't have a 6-pack, you can't be a successful salesman.
Andy
Bitch,
Elliott.
I will outsell you.
How about Andy Elliott?
Yeah, Andy Elliott. I will outsell you, Andy Elliott. I don't give a shit who you are, who you think you are. Like, you do not need to have a 6-pack to sell.
Make that clip go viral, please.
Please.
No, you don't. You don't need a 6-pack to sell, but you just need to know what the fuck you're doing.
Pull me up there. I will outsell anybody you got. I don't have a 6-pack. Do I want a 6-pack? Yeah, I'm gonna get one. I will have one before January. I will. I mean, I'm 265 pounds. I'm 19% body fat. I am where I feel comfortable at. Do I want to get better? Every fucking day. Whether it be in business, whether it be in ministry, whether it be with these podcasts, whether it be with like starting new businesses, like whether it be being a father. I want to get better at everything, man. Like, the other day, like our group text, that Bible group text I was telling you about, they were making jokes. I'll show you the clip later on. And then that's actually where I got the term, like, this dude's built like a silverback gorilla. And like one of the dudes goes, oh, he's got Harambe arms. That dude's built like Harambe. And I send them this like video, and they're like, man, you're a monster. I can't believe I was on a trainer, like working out, and they're like, dude, it's just this big jack dude on a bike. Like you're really like jumping into fitness, man. You must want to be healthy. I was like, no, I just want to dominate my kids in every sport that they ever do. I just want to mess them up. And I got burnt by my 13-year-old running the other day. Not in a sprint. In a sprint, I took off on him, but anything past 100 yards, yeah, it's all you, buddy.
Yeah.
I get gassed.